It was an ordinary day on one of the busy streets of New York. People were trying to get to work, tourists were taking photos around, and traffic was chaotic as usual. In the chaos on the street, a young woman, dressed simply, was sitting on a bench by the sidewalk. She was writing something on her old notebook, occasionally looking up at the sky. There was a tiredness on her face, but also a glimmer of hope. This woman did not seem remarkable to anyone. But what was going to happen in a few minutes would change the lives of everyone there forever. At that very moment, someone who caught attention emerged from the crowd. This man, walking in a black suit, a red tie, and an unrecognizable pair of sunglasses, seemed like an ordinary businessman. But someone who looked carefully could immediately recognize who he was: Donald Trump. The former US president was walking alone on the street without his bodyguards. When people realized he was there, a small commotion started. Some stopped and stared at him in surprise, while others took out their cell phones to record this interesting moment. However, Trump, without paying any attention to the crowd, headed towards the woman. The woman seemed not to notice him approaching. Trump silently approached her, took out one of the envelopes in his hand, and held it out in front of the woman. The woman looked at him in surprise at first. "What is this?" she asked. Trump smiled slightly without saying anything and said, "Open it." Then he waited for the woman's reaction amidst the crowd's gaze. The woman opened the envelope with shaking hands. A piece of paper came out. Her eyes widened. She looked at the paper over and over again, and then her face changed completely. Tears started to flow down her cheeks. The people around her were wondering what was going on. Some were zooming in on their cameras, while others were trying to hear Trump and the woman's conversation. But the woman couldn't say a word for a while. At that moment, one of the world's greatest mysteries was about to be solved. The woman took a deep breath and began to read the note in the envelope out loud. "This is to give you and your loved ones a better life. People have judged me and criticized me, but sometimes you have to play a big game to give something back. I know you need this help. I hope this helps you change your life. Donald J. Trump." Underneath the note was a check for $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million. People were shocked. The woman barely got to her feet and took a step forward to thank Trump, but Trump had already disappeared into the crowd. While the cameras were looking for where Trump had gone, the woman was still looking at the check in her hand and the envelope. It was a miracle for her. That day, the woman was going through the hardest time of her life. She had debts, endless problems, and was on the verge of losing hope. But Trump's unexpected move changed not only the woman's perspective, but the entire world's perspective. While some thought Trump was doing it for publicity, most people there believed that the incident was completely sincere. The news quickly spread. TV channels, social media, and newspapers around the world began sharing the footage. The woman still didn't know why Trump had chosen her. But one thing was certain: her life would never be the same again. And perhaps this incident taught us an important lesson. People who are seemingly powerful or controversial can carry a completely different kind of compassion inside them. That day, a miracle happened on the crowded streets of New York. And no one will ever forget this miracle.